I would like to welcome Dr. Kathleen Kavanaugh, the director of the Institute for STEM Education at Clarkson University, who also serves as vice president for education at SIAM. So she'll say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Bliss. So it's really an honor and a pleasure to be here, and I read all the solution papers, and I can just say seeing them come to life with you explaining your math is really exciting, and I loved hearing about it. So you're leaving high school at a really exciting time in the world, right? There's all sorts of emerging technology coming out and evolving mathematics and lots of data, right? And you also have this responsibility. I think that there's going to be lots of big challenges for you to face, right? So problems we haven't even defined yet. And I think listening to you all talk, the adults in the room probably agree with me that it's comforting to hear just brilliant minds at work. It was really awesome. I also know I'm the thing standing in between you and getting big checks, so I'm going to keep it really brief. But I'd like to give a special thanks to the teacher coaches in the room who got you here, and also your families who are not here who supported you. And again, keeping it short and sweet, there is an important leader of M3 in the room, Michelle Montgomery, who was honored earlier. And again, I'm keeping it short and sweet and not emotional, Michelle. But she brought this challenge to life in 2006 in just New York City for students here. And now it spans 2 countries. And it's been quite amazing. And I met Michelle in 2012 when I became part of the Problem Development Committee, which we call PDC internally. So how many people, it's very stressful waiting to see what the problem is going to be, right? How many people were freaking out, and then you see it and you're like, I don't know anything about electric bikes, and all this stuff's going through your head, right? So there's a committee of us that work all year, believe it or not, on what that problem is going to be. And so I was part of that committee, I think until last year, might have been the first year that I was not on it. And so what I want to do is give Michelle a special gift as she enters the next chapter in her life. Michelle, very quickly, I promise it's short and sweet and not emotional. And we had a lot of problems that we talked about, and I can't tell you what they were about because they're kept in a safe vault for future possible problems. It's all top secret, but I'm revealing one of them. Yeah. It's okay, Michelle. It's not emotional. So as Michelle enters the next chapter in her life, this was a problem that never came to be, no pun intended, that you can enjoy while you're on the next part of your life here. They're LL Bean slippers with a big bumblebee on it. So we've always wanted a bee problem, right? Bees are very important to us. Yeah. You can relax and wear those and think of all those problems. So I'll just, you're welcome. I'll just end with, if you have something you're passionate about that you would love, thousands of students around the world to be working on, you should write a problem for us. We really need your input. And we really struggle, I think, with coming up with a problem that's both approachable and exciting, and you're going to want to spend 14 hours tirelessly working on it. So don't be shy. Give us your ideas when you get some chance to give us feedback. And I think I'm going to end there. Congrats to you all for being here. You should be very proud of yourselves and your team members. And so without further wait, I'm going to welcome Tanya Kuravilla and Helen Lomas from the MathWorks. And they're going to come up and be presenting this year's Outstanding Communication Award, followed by the Technical Computing Awards. So come on up.
Thank you. And thank you, Michelle. So I'm from MathWorks, and MathWorks are the makers of MATLAB and Simulink. So we sponsor over 70 plus competitions around the world supporting the next generation of scientists and engineers. And we're super proud to be involved in the M3 Challenge. So MathWorks is struck by the extraordinary clarity, presence, and polish of the students talking about their solutions at the final event here today. It's been my first time here in person. It's been great to see it all. So in 2019, a prize was created for what the audience saw and experienced today, and that's excellent communication and grace under pressure. Though all the teams demonstrated absolute excellence, we've picked one team that has stood out the most. So the M3 Challenge Outstanding Communication of Results Award goes to the best overall presentation of the day and adds $500 to your overall prize amount. And the award goes to, about 20 minutes to wait, X Factor style. Keep it going. Thomas Jefferson High School for School and Technology. Got the team spokesperson say a few words.
All right. First off, obviously, I would like to thank SIAM and MathWorks for giving us this wonderful opportunity to come and showcase what we've got. Obviously, our communication results. Also, I'd like to thank Jane Street for hosting. I mean, this has been a incredible opportunity for all of us. I'd like to thank these four. Rashab, the other Rashab, Rishi, Laura, and Om. Of course, I mean, they worked their tails off for this, right? They're juniors. They're really busy, but they gave it everything they had. And of course, I'd like to thank our coach, Mr. McPhee. We wouldn't have done this without his support, obviously, and all the other members of our school's math modeling club. Thank you.
Okay, so the M3 Technical Computing Awards for 2023. So there are 3 team awards for technical computing for outstanding use of computer programming for the challenge problem. 23 judges specifically assessed code submissions from 292 teams over 2 intense rounds of scrutiny to look for the teams that best advanced their model using computing. One of the teams in contention for Technical Computing Awards is also here as overall finalists. So now for the winners of these awards. So in third place, this paper employed a BAS diffusion model to simulate the adoption of electric bikes in the population. To integrate the model with historic e-bike sales data, the team fine-tuned model parameters to minimize its sum of squared prediction error. To do so, they wrote an objective function, which was minimized using a gradient descent method that was well implemented in Python. Overall, a very creative and effective use of computing. So with the team prize of $1,000 overlaid on any other distinction, the Technical Computing third place award goes to William Mason High School.
I just want to thank all of our parents for putting up with the countless hours of practice we did and driving us around to all of our houses. Thank you, Ms. Everett, for helping us organize all of this and tagging along with us, enjoying your trip. Thank you, SIAM, MathWorks, and James Street for being so accommodating and giving up this space for us to use. And hopefully we'll see some of you next year.
So now for the runner-up. This team used well-structured Python code for almost all aspects of modeling. Their code allowed them to easily manipulate and pre-process data. For example, in part 1, they effectively filled in missing data on e-bike sales via inference from data on electric vehicle sales. Judges were impressed with this team's solution for part 2, as it was one of the very few papers to differentiate between causation and correlation. Overall, this was a very solid paper, both in terms of modeling and computing. With a team prize of $2,000 overlaid on any other distinction, the Technical Computing Runner-Up Award goes to Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology.
Really quickly, I'd also like to thank all of our parents who also had to put up with us spending countless hours practicing. And thank you to Laura's mom for hosting. We were in her basement for 14 hours.
And finally, for the winner. This team leveraged technical computing for all aspects of the challenge problem. For part one, they designed a simple but effective state transition model inspired by the classic SIR model. The team's MATLAB code for this part was clear and easy to follow. Judges were also impressed with the team's approach to part three. They designed a conceptual clean Monte Carlo model for traffic congestion and implemented it effectively in MATLAB to analyze the impact of increased e-bike ridership on congestion. Overall, this was a great paper that showed great creativity in the use of technical computing. With a team prize of $3,000 overlaid on any other distinction, the Technical Computing Award winner goes to Eltham College, London, England.
Yeah, well, thank you to SciM and MathWorks, especially for letting us use the software. It was great to learn a different way of coding through MATLAB. So that was very interesting. Thank you to our coach, Mr. Eastley. You've been a great help. And we learned everything from scratch this year. And especially Ben as well. We won't be seeing you next year, but I hope good luck. Thank you.
Now, Dr. Karen Bliss, Senior Manager of Education and Outreach at SciAm, will present the overall M3 Challenge Scholarship Prizes.
Guys ready? Okay. M3 Challenge Finalist Awards honor the top 6 teams overall for outstanding mathematical approaches to the 3 main prompts in the challenge problem. Teams were asked to create mathematical models, justify assumptions, define parameters, describe their process, analyze the effects of change, and describe results. We'd also like to acknowledge the contribution of M3 Challenge teacher coaches for inspiring students to study and pursue careers in applied math, data and computational science, and technical computing. Thank you again. Over 120 computational professionals assessed 650 submissions over 3 rounds of intense scrutiny to find creative, thoughtful, well-justified, and reasonable solutions. Judges have arrived at 3 papers that will be awarded overall 3rd place, runner-up, and champion titles. These teams will be announced and called to the podium today. Their team spokesman can say a few words and then return to the audience. And please don't leave before we've had those photos back there taken. All right, now to the part we've all been waiting for, the winners. For 3rd place, one judge's comment was, "This was an excellent contribution. The executive summary was informative and well-written. The response to the 1st and 3rd portions were particularly impressive. Similarly, the response to the 2nd component represented strong critical and analytical thinking skills. The sensitivity analysis and strengths and weaknesses subsections were also nice portions of the paper, and the conclusion was well-formed. Fantastic job." M3 Challenge, 3rd place, winning a $10,000 team scholarship goes to High Technology High School, team number 16559, Lincoff, New Jersey.
Okay, big thanks to Dr. Eng. He's been here last year and like every year before that ever. He's been with us for a while. He's kind of a legend in M3, so yeah, he's awesome. And then also a big thanks to another math teacher back at High Tech, Ms. LeBlanc. She also does M3 stuff and she's really cool. Also, thank you to Amanda's mom for hosting us in her house for 14 hours. and getting us, was it Costco pizza, and making us mac and cheese. That was great.
Runner-up. Judges said, this paper is well written, providing a clear and detailed background alongside comprehensive model descriptions. Notably, the strengths and weaknesses of the models are explicitly stated and practical in nature. The authors have made great use of previous research and information, justifying the proposed models through reasonable assumptions. Throughout the paper, the data tables effectively demonstrate the necessity of the data set for modeling purposes. Additionally, the model results are reasonably well explained and quantified through the use of tables. Your conclusion really highlights this as a report to someone in the transportation department. M3 Challenge, runner-up, winning a $15,000 team scholarship, goes to St. John's School, Team 16573 from Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much again to SciOm and MathWorks and Jane Street for making all of this possible. Huge shout out to the parents who helped us out with the food situation, Mr. Gao, our proctor sponsor, for bringing M3 to our school, and all the teachers who have supported us to this point. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, and our coach, Dr. Rawson, who couldn't be here today, but sorry, I was looking in the audience. Yes, thank you to Dr. Rawson. Thanks so much for.
Say big shout out to Oliver, who's our team spokesman. He's the hard carry for all of us. So thank you, Oliver.
Right. Here's what judges had to say about our champion team. The report is very well written, with figures and tables appropriately labeled and references properly cited. The summary is exceptional. It is concise, yet it entices the reader. You presented good, critical, and analytical thinking. You have fresh and creative ideas, nice presentation with good formula preparation and figures, clear assumption and justification. The tone is professional and reads very well. You clearly took a lot of effort to implement multiple methods across the discipline. Hats off. M3 Challenge champions, winning a $20,000 team scholarship, goes to Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, 16401 Alexandria, Virginia.
Third time. What? Yeah, go Colonials.
All right, that's going to conclude the award ceremony. I have a couple housekeeping items before you go all over the place here in just a minute. First of all, I just want to say that, so for the teams that didn't get one of those top 3 spots, we do have your checks here, so you can grab that check. And I just can't tell you, I don't know, some days I feel like I'm living in a dream that this is my job, that I get to stand up here and get to meet all of you talented students and honor the work that you did. This is amazing. Top 6 teams, and then the Technical Computing Awards here too. Among all of those teams that submitted this year, it's amazing, and I'm super proud and honored that I get to be standing up here to do this.